Okay guys, so I don't know if you can hear me. Kind of using the built-in mic into my laptop. So if there's a problem, I should have fixed it by now and probably had to record a whole new audio. But I was asked if I could make an eye tutorial by a watcher on my DeviantArt page, and I apologize for taking about 50 billion years on doing this. But let's get to it. I'm not professional, and yeah, this is just how I do it. And nothing's gonna look exactly like it. No hyperrealism. Um, some realism. I have a weird blend, but I hope you learn a lot from this. And it should be able to be applied even if you use I'm just using basic brushes, so it's not something fancy. Anywho, I have picked a color over here in Photoshop and the little color wheel or palette. I usually draw with a green or a brown. For this one, I'll probably draw with a light brown. I don't like drawing with black because black is permanent, and I do not like drawing with red because red makes me feel like everything's wrong. So I use a happy in-between color. What you're gonna see right now is just me doodling his eyes, apparently. And this is Suho from EXO, by the way. Ooh, by the way, I'm using a basic brush, and I usually use this one right here because you can. And I always apply pen pressure. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Yeah, see what I mean? Pen pressure, and it's got like a tip. And I usually draw in my sketchbooks with mechanical pencils, so whichever, and you know, traditional terms, lead you use or tip. Okay, I apologize for taking my time. I'm a little off my nut today, but yeah, okay, so how am I gonna do this? Probably not the best thing to say in a tutorial, but I usually never know what the heck I'm doing. He's got really pretty eyes, but I don't really draw so a lot, so this is like a challenge for myself. I'm really bad at making a neat sketch, just so you guys know. Be careful what you ask me to do. I don't care, I'll do it anyways. Is it the eyelid? Yeah. I pay attention to a lot of curve. Oh, and by the way, I am drawing on an Intuos Pen and Touch tablet. I think it's the small version. Yeah. I mean, it's not bad or anything, but I prefer seeing something. I prefer drawing while I'm looking directly at my art, not the tablet that's like sitting on the bed in front of me while I'm like hunched over. Cause it like I draw way slower like this than I would if I'm drawing in my sketchbook per se. An eye tutorial via pencil wouldn't take this long. Oops. I had like a little weird jitter there. I'm trying not to be too detailed, and I usually will go through in Photoshop when I am in Photoshop and like scale things better. But yeah. I don't really know what to say, guys. I don't really think too much when I'm drawing eyeballs. I just kind of draw them. And then I take my eraser. I could flip my stylus over, but for some reason I refuse to be convenient. Yeah, see, he's got this eyelid here, but then he's got one, not an eyelid, a crease. See? I never do, like, I never do things like that. I never do this either. I usually will draw the beginning piece to about a distance, and then I just, like, give it a gap. So I do stuff like this. He doesn't taper on over here. Get rid of it there. And then I fine lines. My eraser is also on pin touch, or not pin touch, pin pressure. Yeah, but I don't like drawing the whole thing. It's kind of annoying. Okay, so he's got like this part curves up. You have to remember, eyeballs are like this really ugly circle here. And they got that piece. There's circles and stuff like that, so you have to keep that in mind when you're doing such thing. And yeah, if I pause randomly, it's because I'm responding to messages. I'm basically giving only the eyelashes that I can see from this photo. And once again, take that eraser tool in there. Usually I don't really leave the eraser on full opacity. I do this thing up here. And I leave it on. And I usually don't use, well, I do leave my brush tool on full opacity, but I sometimes I will take it down to about 70 if I wanted to look like a really light sketch, you know, like your HB lead and stuff. But today, in the words of BTS, not today. Now I'm getting a little detailed. See, this is a bad habit I have in my sketch process, but I can't help it. I've just been doing this for so long that it's just come a second nature. It's not really a good thing because it'll leave you taking 50 years on a sketch when you should be doing something else. And me being in a studio, if I take 50 years on a sketch, instead of taking time on spending those 50 years actually drawing whatever the hell I'm supposed to be drawing, like a vehicle or something, then I could mess up my deadlines. See, I have too much done in here. Yeah, I'm trying to get that ovalish shape, and then I get rid of this piece too, because the inner corner of an Asian eye usually tapers in. If you guys didn't know that. And he has he doesn't have really sharp eyes. Suho does not have sharp eyes. He has kind of like a soft eye. A soft shape of an eye. So, like, yeah. Okay, I cannot explain myself today. I apologize. But, I'm drawing now, like, eye bag, I guess you could say. He doesn't really have eye bags, like Aegyo style. I believe that's what they call this. And then, like, I draw on, like, shape, like, where I draw on, like, the shadows, too. And once again, I verify I am not really drawn Suho. So I'm not, I'm familiar with his face because I've seen him enough, but I'm not like a wizard or something at drawing him. Like, he's actually kind of difficult for me right now. And I'm only drawing his eye, so oh my lord. Okay. And I usually draw the inner crease of his nose here. Inner crease, I can't speak correctly at all. I draw shadows, put it that way. And yeah. If you guys have any questions that you want me to ask, or any tutorials that you would want me to do when I have free time, I'm taking a break from doing work right now, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below, or tweet me, Tumblr inbox me, Instagram me, Google Plus me, something. Email me. My email is also in the description box below. Yeah. I'm just using a simple brush, so I'm not going to list the brushes. But I'm pretty sure in Psy you could use I think the pen brush. Yeah, I just downloaded Psy the other day, and I'm learning how to use it again, but yeah. And I'm just drawing an eyebrow, nothing too fancy, I just follow the lines I see. And I don't really give a crap about eyebrows because I end up, no matter if I draw the shape, it doesn't matter later on because I'll end up painting over it with an airbrush and then going in with a brush I use for hair, put it that way, and doing the thing. He has like really, like goddamn, he has like really intense eyebrows. Jesus. Okay. Suho is not my bias. So I mean, I just started noticing his eyebrows from like performances. I was like, well, shit, those eyebrows are intense, and I love these eyebrows, but I don't think I'm gonna ever draw them again. Like he has. Okay, yeah. No, I don't speak English now. He's got. I'm just gonna like. I usually do this too. Like I give it a shape. I kind of never really follow their eyebrows. Okay, I think. Yeah. Okay. And then in here, because I usually give my characters some form of like a colorful lid, a gradient, or a some kind of makeup. And his shadow, according to this picture, is like right here. So I'm just once again drawing in the shadow. It's not. I'm not really given 2 cents. He has like they always have a crease right here. Yeah, I just draw in shadows. That's my secret, if you will. And I'm gonna like try to do this as possible, and the audio might change later on, depending on if someone comes in this room or not. Oh Jesus, I have to draw the other side of his face. Or I might not. I mean, I don't really have to draw the other side of his face. This is just a tutorial on the eyeball in general, and so I could just do one eye. This side's gonna be like really crappy because I'm not really giving a hoot. Oh jeez, I hate when that happens. Okay, yeah, eyebrow time. I'm going quickly. Basic shapes. And he has like his eyelashes are intense right now in this on this side. Once again, I don't really. My first time drawing people with detail that I'm not familiar with, like for instance, I have been drawing Luhan and Bakken for, I want to say, almost 4 years now, and they are my biases, and so I tend to draw them more, obviously, but I've paid attention to their faces quite a bit that I can draw them from memory now, and I can draw them with my left hand, which is my less dominant hand. So they're way quicker. Why I didn't use them for this tutorial, I don't know. But I hope you enjoy this, even if it does look kind of gross. Yeah, I feel like it's gonna look really gross in a minute, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I just don't feel like fixing it either. He has like a really thick eyelash line here. I think it's just because of the shadow. Not think, that's technically the reason why. Yeah, I don't know how to explain this, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of just doodling his. I guess you guys get to just watch me sketch. Like, how about them? That happens. A lot of people have been wondering if I actually do freehand, and the answer is yes. That's kind of all I do. This eye looks kind of weird. See, it's darker here. And also, I do this thing where, like, if there's more dimension in something, I'll thicken the line, like, for instance, around this area right here. I'll thicken it up because it's a fold, and it tapers in and stuff like that. And then this, I just kind of, like, fill in like this a little bit because it's full of shadow. And, his lashes come out of it. Men have really long lashes, so if you like long lashes, go for it. That's also a thing that I do. A lot of people say that I somehow mastered making them look exactly like my piece of art. I don't think that's true, but thank you. I practice hard drawing these boys. Well, men, because they're all older than me. But, yeah, I like to accentuate certain parts of their faces that I appreciate. Like, you should notice. A good example, if any of you guys have been following me for years, is my attention to, I'm turning the canvas, okay? You can rotate the canvas. It's not obnoxious. It's not bad. You're supposed to do that. You're supposed to flip your canvas too, but shh, I didn't say that. His eyelash. Jeez, they're thick as hell. Okay, anyways. Yeah, okay, you know, I think... What the fuck? Okay. I've been watching Terry for too long now. I'm starting to say things again. Yeah, okay, I'm not... Yeah, okay, whatever. This piece here, I'm gonna, like, do this, because in the inner corner of the eye, got... Okay, there. Okay. Now I make another layer, and then I, like, come over here, like, once again, this brush, this brush, this brush. This one on a new layer. Because you have to think, your eye is, like, that big. And then this right here is what you're gonna put right here.